You from New Jersey?
I guess, like we mentioned, you were down there for the Capitol Hill riots as well, though, as we should get into. But before I guess we get into our thoughts, what were the sentiment down like in Florida? Was there any feel at the comedy shows? You said that everybody was willing to laugh about it that night, though.
Oh, I was ripping because I was kept making fun of it. I said it looked like a field trip without supervision. You know what I mean? Like it was ridiculous. And the comics that were there that night, they do 2 guest spots, then me. They have a host and a headliner. I said we look like the group of stormers for the Capitol Hill that were told physically we weren't going to be able to. I was just ripping.
I think you're too big to fit through that window, bro. You're going to have to stay out here on the stairs.
You're not going to be able to climb.
You hold this 20-foot flag, all right? You're not making it up through the...
I said I was just waiting for the Viking guy to be like Hunter Biden or somebody. You know what I mean? And then one of the comics looked like the Viking guy. I was ripping him about it. Like it was just... And they were digging it. The people were
especially on the Thursday. I mean, it really was. There was a lot of funny, crazy personalities and stuff like that. And you're obviously a funny, non-political guy. You're not up there looking down on anybody. Right? It was you can have a laugh about it, especially at a comedy club. It's the appropriate place to start cracking some J's. But that's definitely true, though, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, no, they were cool with it. And like you said, Thursday, it hit really good because it was fresh. By the last show Saturday night,
people are little rioted out.
My love for it. Yeah. But they were going for it.
Wednesday it would have been too fresh, like as it's going on. But Thursday and Friday, that's prime topical joke territory. The day after a tragedy, fucking perfect. Get me up there. It's just...
yeah. But they were laughing at weird shit too. I said that one girl got killed, but she was a pain in the neck anyway. And they were, because she got shot in the neck, and they were still like, right? They were.
Nice.
They were cool, like
the old proctologist cool pain in the ass joke, but
right by the last night they were
perfect. Yeah, man, definitely. Like you said, I love the joke about the field trip because honestly, man, it was such a weird, crazy situation, and we can talk about our thoughts a little bit. But you're right. There was like the crazy riders, but then there also were just like middle-aged people like peacefully walking in between the felt ropes, like looking around, snapping Polaroids and whatnot.
Grabbing souvenirs.
It really was. It was like the QAnon field trip, like the QAnon tour trip to.
It's ridiculous.
But then there were, of course, the nut jobs like Horns guy or the Viking guy with the fucking the fur hair. He's arrested now. I mean, I say we let the first place in the costume contest go free.
Yo, that's going to be big for Halloween now. How about the chick that got maced? She's like, I'm here for the revolution. They pushed me out and maced I don't know, she was from some out woodsy place. Cornbread.
Some red state, basically. Place. West Virginia or one of these.
She was just like, it's a revolution. It's like, oh, Lord.
Well, I mean, it fucking was, dude. They're storming the, you got to fucking.
Get her back in the van. Put her helmet on.
Yeah, man. The Horns guy, like you said, that is going to be the great costume. A great costume, though.
Yeah.
Already, it's the only problem is Halloween is 10 months away because I have to wait.
Right.
Fucking. But that guy's now in jail now. He's a great nut job anyway. The first reports about him were that of course he's like a QAnon dude, but he lives with his. He was a failed actor that lived with his mom. Were the first reports.
He still has that's where he got the costume from. That one day he was an extra.
I know, seriously. I got a feeling a lot of the fucking people that showed up happened to have fucking bear pelts and moose antlers around their house. That's not a stretch for a lot of these fucking maniacs that showed up.
Yeah.
But now his mom is now he's doing some sort of hunger strike in jail. Although it's not for political martyrdom. It's just because he refuses to eat non-organic food.
Here we go. The Viking diet. That'll be the next big sensation.
Well, I mean, I don't know, dude. This is going to be one of those divisive things where it's like fucking, because I mean, like, talk about a liberal stance, like refusing to eat non-organic food in jail. This is going to be one of those mind fucks where now the libs are like, you know what, dude? I'm ordering a fucking hot dog. Fuck that guy.
He can't be in like a regular jail either. They'd kill him, right? I mean, where did they put the Viking guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good call too. I mean,
well,
I don't know, man. He did like make it back to Arizona, and that is a good call. I mean, there's like talk right now about whether or not they're going to be extradited back to D.C. for like the federal charges or whatnot. But a lot of them that made it back to their states, I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting treated not to. If like the dude that like made it back to Arkansas and got picked up, if like the Arkansas police are treating him better than your average like black teen on a marijuana arrest, I think that would be fucking pretty logical. So I think that dude is in Arizona. So I mean, who the hell knows what's going on?
you can't
Like, that's a good point, though.
anywhere,
I'm sure he's
really.
definitely, when they eventually do further federal time, especially if they're doing time like federal penitentiaries or whatnot, you'd expect them to be in the child molester wing. It's gonna be the pedophiles and Trump fans and the fucking and Trump potentially coming soon. He could be the roommate.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of did talk about it a little bit last week, ironically, as we definitely didn't see. We recorded the day before, and we definitely didn't see that whole shit show coming. But we did talk about just like how ridiculous and dangerous it was to be like totally supporting the politician in general, as opposed to just the party. You know what I mean? And we were joking about your sister holding up the Hillary sign, and we were joking that they should be holding up signs for the issues. I think the one we were going with was no monkey labor is the most pressing issue for the No Geniuses. But in general, it's just like aligning yourself.
No forced monkey. No forced monkey
Yeah,
labor.
exactly.
I don't want to
the monkey wants to
work.
work.
The right to work.
That's true. But we were talking about just, you know, how crazy and silly it is to just be like passionately aligning yourself with the person. And I feel that was definitely, the next day we saw a lot of the danger and just, you know, the harm of that, because those were, you know, and there's like a saying in sports where you're supposed to root for the name on the front of the jersey and not the name on the back of the jersey, you know, or you root for the team and not the player. And the player got him all riled up to storm the fucking Capitol House. And that was pretty much, you know, that was all Trump in my book, you know, all Trump and Giuliani and Donnie Jr., but they like called him to arms. They got him all riled up. They had the, you know, called for the trial by combat. They marched him over, you know, and then of course, do you think it's a setup? Do we feel that the, you know, securities, me and you have been arrested too many times to fucking to be not suspicious with the lack of security?
None of them were. Nobody's holding beers. If I did something like that, we'd all have beers. You know what I mean? That's why you do stupid shit like that. You don't do it for political reasons. You go, hey, let's climb the Capitol, and you're all drunk, and it sounds like a good idea. And
That's
you go,
true.
All right, you know, like you're tailgating at a Jets game next door, and you just go, they suck. Let's go storm the Capitol. You know,
it very much did have the only thing I can compare it to in my life would be storming the field at a Mets game. Like if the Mets won the World Series and I'm fucking lighting up a bowl at second base, like this is the great. That would be my version of the fucking horns guy doing the Hulk Hogan pose.
Because you're drunk.
Yeah, no, that's a good call.
Right. Or you're at a Metallica concert and you're running from the security, you know?
I mean, it definitely is a very scary sign for stuff like that. I mean, we'll get into what goes on throughout the rest of the week with the other, you know, planned shenanigans that I think that they'll, you know, the Washington Capitol Police and just in general State House securities across the country will be really prepared for. But, dude, I mean, honestly, we fast forward 2 or 3 years back to when life is normal, and there's like thousands of people like at a Metallica concert wanting to storm the gates, and there's literally like 3 or 4 security guards in yellow jackets are the ones to stop it. Are you gonna be telling me that nobody's gonna like? And you just showed like the mind frame. One dude throws like something through the window, and the mayhem breaks loose. Next thing you know, you got 60-year-old women walking through the State House. You know what I mean? Like that's how far it goes. And like you're right, man. When you translate this to other situations where people are drunk and there is just a lack of more people than security, which is at like every concert, sporting events, fucking like we should be running onto the field every game. They couldn't stop us, you know.
I know people that have, but you know, it's funny in the Capitol. There's like one. He's been getting trashed. This guy with memes and everything else. They've been ripping him apart.
Which
the
guy?
The one black guy that's standing there. They're like, we said meet at the Capitol Grill, not the Capitol. They are just ripping him apart.
Fucking hilarious.
Like, where's my stimulus check?
Yeah, no, dude, I've seen
guy.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's hilarious.
You said Capitol Grill. Yeah, dude. What the hell? I mean, honestly, man, it was one of the crazy stories of the election where that, like, more black voters switched from Democrat to Republican voting this year than, like, ever before, you know? And there was, like, a Latinos for Trump section of the whole takeover. So what are you fucking people doing? Like... I mean, don't you know that QAnon, like when you're signing up for the QAnon website, like the QAnon mailing list, don't you know it's crazy when you're signing up for it? You know what I mean? It's like the Proud Boys, like you're a white nationalist and you seek out like the white nationalist group or whatever. But when you're getting into these crazy conspiracy things, like don't you know that it's fucking a crazy conspiracy theorist?
I'll tell you what, the internet's a bad thing as well as a good thing, because back in the day, you could find those people. They'd get like Soldier of Fortune delivered to their house, and you just could watch them. You know, you get like the FBI on them. Now with the internet, man, there's a lot of crazy shit happening.
I mean, it's worth it.
You know?
Is it worth it for all the porn? Yes, but we're gonna have to deal with some of the fallouts. Like,
it's. I'll tell you what. I was thinking before, man. You know, good stuff that's gonna come in the future, because I think one of the greatest things ever invented, you know, health-wise, is Viagra. I think, you know, so I don't know. And that's not that old. So think of what could be, you know, in the future, man.
Yeah, man, and an interesting thing about Viagra, I don't know if you were referring to this about Viagra or if you knew it or whatnot, but Viagra was actually intended to be a heart medication. It was they were trying to find something that like opened up the blood flow to your heart to help out with heart patients, and they found out that the side effect was that it made your dick hard for fucking 6 hours, or you got to call the doctor or whatnot. So then they started mass producing it as like a dick pill, and like you said, it's the greatest medicine ever because of the side effect to what they're going for. So what Trump was going for might have been one thing, but the side effect, there will be good that comes out of a lot of the mayhem that we saw last week, rather. But I guess there is some tragedy to hit. And I guess one New Jersey man caught up in the fray. I guess good news is only one New Jersey rioter arrested, compared to Pennsylvania, which had 12, I believe. Which isn't really surprising that Pennsylvania's 12 times crazier than we are. But I would have imagined more than fucking one asshole from Jersey was part of that fucking chaos. But he's apparently a Cape May resident. I'm willing to guarantee that he fucking works out at that crazy maskless Corona gym, although
maybe
that can't be confirmed nor denied. However, I got a fucking feeling that he's... But I guess another sad part of the whole situation, though, real, tragedy, all honesty, in New Jersey from the whole situation, but one of the Capitol Hill officers that died to the injuries from the violent mob and all the chaos was a New Jersey native, a veteran of the New Jersey National Guard. I believed he'd served overseas and whatnot, and was working for the Capitol Police for the last several years. And man, I'm not one for violent videos, like real violent videos. I don't know if you are. I fucking happened to see one. I'm not sure if it was this cop, but I saw some cop getting caught up in a violent mob and like stomped on and fucking dragged out by a couple of brave people. Yeah, man, I can't watch those like fucking. Remember like when the internet came out, like when I was a kid, like because I grew up before the internet age, and when I was like around high school, it was when people really started getting the internet on like more mainstream kind of fucking levels. And for me, as like a dumb like 15-year-old, it felt, and before you could get porn on the internet, of course, because that would have been the first fucking that was the first search, of course. But then the second search was this thing called Rotten.com, and that's all. And all it was. Are you familiar with that old website?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a famous fucking whole thing, but all it was just like gruesome, disturbing imagery. And for like my first like couple of years of the internet, that was like my whole conception and like my whole perception of the internet was like, oh, the machine where you go watch the disturbing imagery that fucking the one sociopath from fucking middle school showed me. Like, geez, that invention's not going anywhere. And I guess it's only been downhill.
These shows called Faces of Death. That was this series that they had, like, that was like hard, back in video days.
Yeah,
Faces
for sure.
of Death, and it was all that. I can't watch that shit, man. Like,
now, was Faces of Death though? Wasn't all of that? Was that all real video or was that all fake stuff?
Yeah, all real video.
It was all
man.
real.
I can't.
Oh, I thought Faces of Death was like a put on. I thought it was like, you know what I mean, poorly made.
I can't. No, it's real. It's like real.
Yeah, man, I can't watch that shit either. And honestly, dude, if you're one of these people, I even have a theory, honestly, about people that fucking love disturbing horror movies. Like, if it's not Halloween and you're watching the Jason series, you're an asshole, all right? And, like, you'd fucking need to be, if it's the fucking first day of April and the birds are chirping and you're at home watching the fucking, Freddy Krueger trilogy or whatever, like, the FBI needs to be fucking watching you. And definitely with these fucking videos and whatnot. Like, I've, met people bartending and whatnot. I've met people that, oh, dude, you've never watched any of the Iraqi beheading videos? And next thing you know, they're fucking, like, showing their cell phone, like, dude, check this out. I'm like, bro, I don't want to fucking see some fucking, like...
I've done that. I've done that to people. I feel bad, but I've sent... And they go, why did you make me see that? Like, I'll send them something. They'll look at it and they get pissed at me. There was this one with this Asian
I like
guy
how you don't even watch,
and
you're just sending him along.
He was fucking a chicken, and it was like he was really, like, getting in it. Like, and I said, oh, I got to send this. Like,
dude, is that the one?
Horrified.
Was that the German guy? Where you hear him in the background, like, oh yes, this, and then all of a sudden you just hear the chicken start squawking. There's this one where you hear this German guy like talking, like sweet talking, like whispering in the ear of a chicken, like, oh no, that's good, and you just hear like, and then all of a sudden you just hear like, where the chicken is obviously. Like I've only heard the audio of the fucking chicken sodomy on the Opie and Anthony show, but that's a.
Oh, I sent shit once, and somebody got me with a couple of like murder ones, and I'm like, I mean, I don't want to see that, but I see somebody fucking chicken, everybody's getting that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everybody's getting it, especially people I know it'll really offend. You know what I mean? They'll be like,
who, vegans?
Now they're gonna look at my computer and think I have animal porn, like some shit like that,
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, a hilarious trolling tactic, no doubt about it. But
I do have people though. I mean,
remember the whole fucking 2 girls 1 cup craze? That was pretty much the same thing.
No.
I mean, although that was like silly,
gross.
that was so gross, it was silly. I guess I could deal with that one,
No, that was horrible. No way. No way. That's what I mean. Like, I have friends that would send me fucked up shit like that all the time. And
now, what would you rather watch? A beheading video or 2 girls 1 cup? Like, what could you sit through more? Because 2 girls 1 cup, it starts off funny enough, but you can't fucking make it through. Like, I defy you to fucking make, especially first time viewing, to watch that without like instinctually having to fucking remove yourself for at least a couple seconds.
No.
Now you can't even find it. All you can do is, and this, I think 2 girls 1 cup, by the way, one of the viral crazes of 2020 was the reaction video whole thing of like everybody just watching like, hey, let me listen to Grateful Dead. So there's like a Bill Burr reaction highlight video and fucking Grateful Dead. But the original reaction compilation thing was 2 girls 1 cup reaction, because it got to the point where you couldn't even find the video anymore. All you could do is find the videos of people fucking watching and losing their shit to it. And now that's like a subgenre of entertainment, is the reaction video thing.
That's why we have a virus killing us, because we're sick people.
I know, seriously. If all of this started with one of those 2 Brazilian girls, would anybody be surprised?
Right, exactly.
If when we all die of coronavirus and get to heaven, if God tells us, that it was those fucking... I mean, you all laughed when those 2 girls shit in each other's mouths. You didn't think anything fucking bad. And then the other guy fucked him, obviously. You didn't think anything bad was going to happen after that?
I'd rather eat a bat. I swear to God, I'd rather eat a bat.
Yeah, seriously. So anyway, R.I.P. to the New Jersey resident, R.I.P. to the New Jersey native who passed in the Capitol Hill. Don't watch the video, but it was, the video that I saw of the cop. It's fucking crazy and disturbing, and definitely, our heart goes out to the family of, all of the victims of all of that, and definitely really, scary for, as well, I guess, there was a congresswoman from New Jersey when everybody got, all of the, state employees and everybody got rushed into, like, seclusion. A couple of, and here's the story right now that I like fucking, of course, only checked it, but judging by the headlines that I schemed, there was a 75-year-old congresswoman of New Jersey that came down with coronavirus, as well as another lady that came down with coronavirus, and they're pointing the fingers at the 9 Republican officials that refused to wear a mask in fucking seclusion, isolation, like in the bowels of the building, while being, chased away from the angry mob. 9 Republican officials refused to wear masks in the, close quarters. And now a 75-year-old congresswoman from New Jersey has come down with the coronavirus. And, yeah, so fingers are, I'm assuming that they're going to have to test those 9 Republicans and find out if any of them as well are positive. And if they are positive, there's going to be fucking major backlash for that person. If
just in case we can't separate the country any further apart.
I know. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, further division, which I guess would bring us all back to Trump, where it all comes back to.
Hey, did you hear about the guy that was? I don't know if this is true because this is too funny to be true. If this is true, the guy died. Some guy died by tasering his own balls by mistake during the Capitol. I mean, he was stealing a.
Yeah, that sounds like a misinformation campaign to fucking besmirch this whole thing. That sounds like a fucking like a QAnon hack to get us fucking. He
was stealing a picture of Tip O'Neill. A picture of Tip O'Neill from the wall, and the taser.
He Plaxico Bird himself and tased his own balls to death.
Tased his own balls and died. I mean, that guy's like.
Talk about a martyr. If it's true, first of all, if it's true, Horn's guy is no longer my favorite fucking guy in this situation.
I know.
I've got to go with tased his balls to death guy if this is a true story. But
yeah,
I'm gonna have to call shenanigans on this one though. I'm definitely googling it fucking the second that we get off. But I mean, I want to believe it though. I want to believe it.
Me too. I do.
I guess.
Not that I want nobody to be dead, but if he died, let it be in a cool way like that.
I mean, suicide by ball tasing, I guess, is.
That's fucking wild.
But I guess for Trump, however, where all of the really all of the blame, should be pointed for this whole situation, and pretty much by all camps is being pointed, whether negatively or positively, because all of the people that did it, a lot of the people that did it are unapologetic about doing it and defending their actions. And, the people, of course, that are pointing the fingers at Trump negatively have now raised the second impeachment under Trump, which has officially been introduced. So, I mean, he's now facing impeachment. He's as well been, of course, dumped off of Twitter. Kicked off of Twitter. He's been as well today. The Deutsche Bank announced they're going to be cutting off ties with him. They've got some like $300 million lined up in future investments. The PGA Golf has announced that they're not going to be hosting the PGA Championships there at his golf courses in 2022 or beyond. Even Bill Belichick fucking announced, even the most evil bastard and the second most evil bastard to Trump, Bill Belichick announced that he won't be getting the fucking congressional, or they won't be getting the Medal of Honor or whatever.
The Freedom Medal or something.
The Freedom Medal or whatever. Stupid, like, evil guy medal that we're the 2 most hated people, let's fucking high five on a podium together medal that he was gonna get. Pretty much all Republicans even, or except for the fucking, only the diehards of Howley and Cruz are left standing behind them, and they're facing disbarment. After all this, I'm starting to think that maybe trying to overthrow the government's starting to backfire for old Trump. I'm starting to think that.
You think he'll go on MySpace? It'll be him and Tom.
Yeah, Tom's like, finally, dude. I've been fucking waiting for. I've been waiting for a chance to get a friend back.
And then Tom.
All right, there's no Twitter, there's no Paula, but me and Tom have been talking. Things are going great. Tom loves me. He's no, but even Parler has fucking, which I had never heard of until I heard that it's no longer exists. So I guess too late for me to join on because it's now gone.
Me too.
So.
That came and went. That came and went before I knew what was happening.
Yeah, much like Newsmax.
That was quicker than Periscope.
But I guess, and the whole impeachment is kind of to block him because, I mean, the president ends at this point, I think, a week from today or whatnot, within 10 days from now anyway. But the second impeachment is to potentially block him from being able to run in 2024 and then as well block him from fundraising, which at this point, especially without Deutsche Bank, would be pretty much his only source of income. And, I mean, if he literally as Americans, whether you like Trump or not, or don't, but you just, well, I mean, it's impossible to fucking have one or the other, but, at this point, I think we are all ready to just not have fucking any craziness in our ear for a couple months, and if Trump's allowed to, he's gonna start campaigning for 2024 fucking tomorrow, the day he gets out of office, he's gonna start the big assault for 2024, and I think we all could use just some fucking Trump time off, wherever you stand, including these maniacs that are storming the Capitol House. I think we all need a vacation from Trump. So, a second impeachment.
It's like he's getting.
Huh?
He's getting fired. It's like he's getting fired twice from the same job. How the fuck does that happen?
I mean, fucking, he did the job. If refusing to wear masks or fucking support Black Lives didn't get the job done, trying to overthrow the government perhaps is going to be the. But we will see. But all in all,
it looks like a big shit sandwich, and we're all going to take a bite.
Yeah, I think that is what we predicted last episode as well. I definitely did not see the fucking mayhem that ensued, but we all knew that we weren't out of the fucking we weren't out of 2020 yet. So I guess the 53rd week of 2020 is officially over, and we're starting the 54th, because next week is going to be fucking wild as well, to be honest, where they're already claiming major demonstrations. They're claiming armed demonstrations. I guess the real question is, of course you'd expect Capitol Hill to be a lot more, protected with security and all that kind of shit this time, and, there was a willingness to let that happen. That will not happen again, but, you'll be interested to see, will they use tear gas canisters when the fucking riots start, like they did not do this time, which, the one correctly timed, well-placed tear gas canister at the beginning of all of this would have sent them all running in the other direction, you know what I mean? Like, they let the floodgates fucking collapse. They won't do it again. However, in a lot of these states, they're claiming demonstrations in 50 states. Fucking, I'm sure New Jersey, I'm sure Trenton will be relatively safe, but some of these states where a lot of officials, fucking Arkansas, where a lot of the cops are going to be fucking in on it, you know what I mean? And everybody is super well armed, and you know what I mean? The residents can severely outnumber, the local law enforcement and local officials with an armed militia. You know what I mean? I don't know if New Jersey can get that done with a fully armed militia overthrowing the New Jersey State Police. In Arkansas, I think they fucking probably can. You know what I mean? So will there be some major chaos or something crazy that happens in a state house over the next week? I would imagine yes, to be perfectly honest, as they're planning demonstrations on specific days, but really chaos all week, and with Martin Luther King Day as well would be like a symbolic day for them to do some crazy racist shit. You know what I mean? So definitely it's going to be a nutty week to come, and really a couple of weeks for Biden to the inauguration to take place, and just the transition of power out, although, Trump's not going to shut the fuck up. However, like we said, I think everybody's just ready to start focusing on fucking... Can season 2 of Tiger King fucking come out already?
That's what we need. Hey, Trump should pardon him on the way out.
I mean, if Trump wants to win over some fan support, and if he wants to win over the Geniuses of New Jersey constituency, it would simply take a pardon of Joe Exotic. But he's gonna be.
That's right.
I don't think he's that smart though. He's fucking. I would sooner see him give a pardon to like Carol Baskins or one of the fucking Jeff Lowe. He's gonna give a pardon to that fucking creep, but.
Carol was smart enough not to get caught.
Yeah, she's the fucking smartest one of the bunch for sure. She is.
She is.
She
looks like Hillary's evil sister, doesn't she?
It's a great call.
More evil.
She really does look like fucking Hillary's evil sister. Although Hillary certainly didn't have Bill literally on his hands and knees, dressed in cat makeup, on a leash at their wedding. However, if she did, maybe it would have been a lot better off.
Go back to Jersey, you moron!